Attorney, give us a sense of how the smuggling issue is now, how grave it is, because I believe the President already put his foot down in the past State of the Nation addresses. So kamusta po yung sitwasyon po ngayon? What are the trends when it comes to the smuggling of agricultural products?
Well, we're still experiencing some unscrupulous importers who are using the scheme of misdeclaration. This is what happened here in this instance. They declared this as some other items. As you reported, they declared this as tissue. But actually it contained other items, no? Other illegal items. So there were carrots, white onions, other frozen agricultural products such as fish ball, and of course, we also discovered 2 containers of illicit cigarettes. That has been the usual scheme that was being used in the past. So that's why we've been ramping up our operations and trying to profile each and every importer that are usually suspected of might have some traces of doing this kind of scheme. More than that, there are other schemes that we're guarding against. No? In the past years, there's been an increase in outright smuggling, which are smuggling in the high seas. So they no longer enter our ports; they enter it through private ports or some entrance in our country through the open seas. So we have memorandum of understanding and cooperation with the Philippine Coast Guard and the Philippine Navy. But again, for this instance, they've used old schemes like misdeclaration to try to smuggle this into our country.
Pagkatapos po na maipasok itong mga produkto, saan po nagpupunta? Because kailangan malagay yan sa freezer, di ba? At ano po yung madalas na nakikita po ninyo na sinismuggle sa Pilipinas? Ito po yung carrots, yung white onions, cigarettes, what else?
Depende yan, Gretchen, no, sa kung ano yung mabenta sa merkado. Ganun yung naging experience namin eh. So, before, tulad itong carrots, no, kapag mabenta to sa merkado, nakikita nilang merong market talaga, no, they smuggle it. Kapag itong white onions, no, kapag medyo hindi harvest season, o kaya medyo may kakulangan sa ating merkado, ito naman ang kanilang sinasmuggle. Cigarettes, we've seen a rise nung talagang smuggling incident dyan kasi talaga nagtaas tayo ng taxes dyan, no? Yung ating reform sa ating taxes, pagdating sa sin taxes, no? Mga produktong tinatawag nating covered ng sin taxes tulad ng cigarettes, talagang ang laki nung tinaas, no? Kaya ang laki din nung magiging profit kung isa-smuggle to at hindi magbabayad ng buwis. Doon naman sa tanong, no, kung saan siya sinustore, no? Yes, pag frozen agricultural products, kailangan siyang i-store sa mga tinatawag nating refrigerated warehouses, no? O ang tawag ng pamahalaan doon, cold storages. Ito mga cold storages ito, regular din po naming sinasubject to a raid through a letter of authority coming from the Commissioner of Customs and in cooperation with the Department of Agriculture. Kasi alam namin dito sin-store. Pag naman nauhuli namin to at illegal yung item, ito po ay aming dinidestroy kasi wala po itong kaukulang permit at hindi natin may ensure na fit for human consumption.
But Attorney Maronilla, misdeclaration is an age-old tactic of the smugglers, though. They use it not just to bring in illegal agri-products, but also even illegal drugs. Also, remember the artificial onion shortage from, when was it, 2022, 2023, right? This is part of what exacerbated that. Why is it so difficult to stamp out? Give us a sense of how tricky it is trying to weed out these players.
Well, you can just imagine how many containers the Bureau of Customs need to process every day. It averages to about 5,000 to 10,000 containers daily all over the Philippines that we actually process. And I guess the unscrupulous importers try to take advantage of the balancing act that we do, no, between trade facilitation and of course border protection. So siguro iniisip nila dahil hindi naman lahat yan kayang bantayan ng Bureau of Customs at kinakailangan din nilang i-facilitate yung trade, kundi maapektuhan din no, yung mga nilalabas na shipment ng mga legitimate importers. Kapag kami naghigpit para sa lahat, they try to do it the old-fashioned way, which is misdeclaration. Tsambahan ba na merong mailusot or maisabay doon sa volume at maitago doon. No? Little that some of these unscrupulous importers have knowledge of is that niramp up na rin po ng aming intelligence and enforcement group yung capability namin to detect misdeclared shipments. In fact, we're not just relying on our own intelligence. We're using intelligence coming from source countries as well. Marami na pong pinasukan si Bureau of Customs Commissioner Bien Rubio no, na iba't ibang memorandum of agreement, no, cooperation agreement with other countries in ASEAN and traditional trading partners natin para po magkaroon kami ng exchange of information. At pagdating pa lang sa kanila, kung medyo meron ng kaduda-dudang shipment na lumabas, may inform na kagad dito at ma-profile namin.
I see. Because it's not physically possible to board every single container that comes in every single day. And then also, as you pointed out, it's a balancing act with trade facilitation because you also can't hold the shipments too long, right?
Yes.
This latest...
Because if we do that, we affect the other legitimate importers who's trying to also cut costs. No, otherwise their costs are going to go up, prices are going to go up, and of course congestion in the ports might also happen.
I see. It also affects the legitimate importers, as you said, and then subsequently affecting market prices. But this latest shipment from Subic port, the one that was seized, worth 136 million pesos, where was it? Where did it come from?
The imported agricultural products such as the onions, carrots, and the frozen fish balls and other frozen products came from China. On the other hand, the cigarettes came from Taiwan.
Okay, Attorney, what do we know about these illegitimate or, as you mentioned, as unscrupulous importers? Sindikato po ba talaga to? Are they an international syndicate? And how many of them or how many of these smugglers have been charged and convicted in court, if any?
But we've convicted, but in the past year, there has been conviction coming from the Bureau of Customs. So I think meron kaming a little over 5 convictions already. But there are numerous cases that are now pending before the courts and pending before the Department of Justice. Ang instruction ng commissioner namin dito is that once na mahuli to at matapos ang investigasyon, agad-agad mag-file sa DOJ. In fact, we're filing at a rate of about 3 to 4 cases every week no, sa Department of Justice. Not just agricultural products, but other cases of smuggling as well. Now, for these types of importers, paiba-iba din sila ng modus operandi. No? Before, they would usually do consignees for hire. But when we tried na higpitan yung aming accreditation system, they would now put up legitimate companies, and some of these legitimate companies magkakaroon ng pakonti-konting legal na importation, and then eventually when they get the status of legitimate importer, and historically, then they'll try to attempt bringing in paunti-unti no, ng mga smuggled products. But again, it's all a game of intelligence, and I guess one of the reason why we're very successful in apprehending these kinds of products is that we place a very competent person in our intelligence group. No, he's actually an intelligence guy coming from the Armed Forces of the Philippines, and the network is there, and the capability and the qualification of the person handling our intelligence and apprehensions is actually very effective.
Isn't it possible to impose stiffer penalties and fines, or actually reveal the identity of these smugglers and those who conspire for these products to get inside the country? Di ba napag-uusapan yun?
Napag-uusapan naman. In fact, we're going to name them once we file these cases in court. We're just very careful at this stage because there are follow-up operations and follow-up investigations to get to the bottom of who's actually involved in these operations. And yes, in some instances, we found out that it's a syndicated thing. In other instances, it's really just, basically money driven. It's a profit driven. We have a saying that money makes the world go round, and it's the same thing in smuggling. No? The profit that they actually are expected to get is the price that's actually making them attempt to smuggle these items over and over again. Try to smuggle these items over and over again.
All right, thank you for giving us a better sense, and we hope to see a better situation moving forward. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Bureau of Customs spokesperson, Attorney Vincent Philip Maronilla.